Hello, everybody. We're here, Five for Talking, NHL Talk edition, full podcast, talking about the whole league. I got Caps here. He's the host, and we're just going to jump right into this. Big trade. You heard about this? Patrick Laine.
On the whole trade, bro.
I was just gonna.
This is your episode.
I thought you were like frozen.
I'm not the host for this one.
You're the host always. Patrick Laine got traded for Pierre-Luc Dubois, third-round pick with Dubois, and Roslovic went to Columbus as well with Patrick Laine. What do you think?
First thought that came to my head is, okay, so Laine does not get along with Paul Maurice. I can only imagine how great he's going to get along with Tortorella.
I think this.
I give it a year before he asks for another trade.
I think this whole move was that. I think the whole trade was just about getting rid of Laine. I think Winnipeg was done with him, regardless of skill. They didn't want to have him. He's bad in the locker room or something, and that was a big reason for sure. I think Winnipeg wins this trade. I mean, Columbus gets what they want, right? They get goal scoring.
Yep.
That's what they needed. He doesn't really bring you much else than that. And Roslovic is he played really good in juniors. I looked him up. I never heard of him. He played really well in the juniors. He played almost the last 2 full seasons in Winnipeg. He played okay. He's pretty decent on both sides of the ice. He didn't get much ice time to see. I mean, he's still pretty young. Who knows? But I feel like he was just thrown in there just as a piece so that they could get back a draft pick. I think getting Dubois in a draft pick is the bigger win here because Dubois is actually a better overall player in my opinion than Laine, and he's a center.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's what they wanted. I don't know.
So where do you place him? Where do you put him?
Dubois?
Second line? Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Or I'd probably make him a winger.
He's going to have to. Because Stastny is centering that second line.
I think Dubois plays left wing and center, so I'm pretty sure you can pull that off. Just side note, Roslovic is also from Columbus. Like he was born in Columbus, so that could have been why. Maybe they were like, give us the hometown guy in the deal.
So you're saying that easily Winnipeg wins this trade?
I don't know. I wouldn't say easily, but I think just from looking at it, it's a win for Winnipeg. They get a player that fits their system better. He can put up points. He's a 20-plus goal scorer in the right situation easily. He could probably get 30. He plays defense. He's not scared to play physically. I think that's exactly what they like, right? Laine didn't fit their system at all. And
I just find it interesting that Laine went second in the draft and Dubois went third. And they were from the same year.
You know what I find even more interesting is that Matthew Tkachuk went sixth, and all of the teams ahead of them are idiots. So, I mean, could you imagine Winnipeg right now with Matthew Tkachuk?
It was a good draft. I thought all around.
I mean, no, between Dubois and Tkachuk was.
Are you saying that you would take Tkachuk over Matthews?
No, but I would take him over any of the other people ahead of him.
Yeah, but it was a good draft, though. I have to say, it was a really good draft.
I mean,
does Sergachev go that year as well? I think Sergachev went that year.
Yeah, but I think he was later in the draft.
I think it was a top 10 pick. I think.
Maybe, I don't know. It was Montreal, so.
Wow.
You never know, but yeah, it was a good draft. Realistically, it's funny. I'm going to talk about this now because you just mentioned it. When you really look at the last 4 seasons or whatever it's been, 5 seasons, Tkachuk has been better than Matthews.
I cold-heartedly disagree with that.
How many seasons has Matthews stayed healthy?
Okay, that's fine. But
how far did the Leafs go anyway?
Has Tkachuk scored almost 50 goals for his team?
What does it matter? What did Matthews do for the Leafs? They didn't go anywhere. So if
Yeah,
you're
but that's just one person, Campos. I mean, if you're going to look at the
okay,
whole
but then
team, I mean, you know,
what do you get with Kachuk? You
we're
get
making no, but you're making you want to make when it comes to Matthews and Kachuk, you want to make comparisons in the individuals, not the whole team.
yeah, but I think if you're gonna go, it's a team game. You always say that, and I think Kachuk adds more to your team as a team than Matthews does. He plays both ends. He's physical. He's offensively gifted. It's not like he doesn't put up points. The guy
Mhm.
scores like 30 goals.
Yeah, I'm not going to doubt Kachuk. I think he plays hard. He's very tough. He can score goals, but I think in terms of just pure skill, and I think Matthews is a lot more skilled, a lot more
Matthews
gifted.
is way more skilled, but I'm just saying
But overall, like I could see your argument in terms
if
of
I'm going to look back at the last 5 years and say who made a bigger difference, it's definitely Kachuk because Matthews barely stayed healthy for any of those seasons.
he was about to play a full season last year.
Yeah, but he
Yeah, and
didn't
he was
because of
close to playing
COVID.
50 goals. Yeah, but he was close to getting 50 goals. I mean, come
How
on.
many?
It
Yeah,
was a
50.
career year for him
I
last
get
year.
it. I get it.
I think he
And
was closing up in 80 points. There was a possibility that he might have gotten 100. Possibility. I'm not saying that he would
yeah,
have. I'm just saying it's possible. So, like, if he did get 100 last year, then this argument
is
could have
one
sided
season
more
though.
with Matthews. You're absolutely right.
I do say that Matthews is better though. I agree with you, and
Yeah.
I agree with everything you said. I'm just saying, if you were like, look at these two pieces of paper, who would you rather have? The guy who scores 50 goals or the guy who does things for your team? I mean,
Yeah, I would have to seriously look at my team.
it depends who you're. It depends what team you're on too, right?
Yeah. I mean, if it was like a team like Montreal, I think I would have taken Matthews
Oh
because
yeah. If it was
obviously
a team
there's a
built,
need for
yeah.
that kind of skill.
If it was like Columbus or something, I would have took Matthews.
Yeah, but if it's something like Toronto,
Yeah.
I would not say no to Matthews. But at
No,
the same
AK,
time,
you
looking at
can.
that team, there would be an argument that you would take Kachuk because obviously, before this season, there was a bunch of
Okay. In the last 10
top guys on that
drafts,
team.
in the last like 10 drafts, okay, it's McKinnon, like for game breaking talent, okay, it's like McKinnon, McDavid, Matthews, maybe Jack Eichel, and then was there anybody else that was like insanely like number one pick? Like Lafreniere was talked about a lot, but like he doesn't show me the talent of any of those guys. So I don't know. But
Still
yeah.
early. Still
Yeah,
early.
that's true. That's true. I mean, like, there's a lot of good players. Like Kucherov wasn't like a high draft pick, I don't think either. Anyways, we're way off topic here. Okay.
That's your fault.
Uh, yeah, it's okay. I want to touch on the Stars. Played their first game after being quarantined for X amount of time. I think it was like 2 weeks, actually. They won 7-0 against Nashville, who's supposed to be good. And they don't have Seguin. That's pretty crazy, right? They haven't even
Full of
played a game.
surprises, man. Full of surprises.
This whole season has been actually.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a while before everybody starts settling in, especially with the fact that they're playing with teams that they don't normally play with because of the whole division, flip flop and all that stuff. Um, who would have thought that Phil Kessel would be tied for second in the goal scoring lead? He's in my pool, by
I
the way.
would.
He's in my pool, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
One of my last few picks.
let's be honest. If Phil Kessel can do one thing, is score goals, and that's just touch on. Well, we're not going to go back, but I don't want Matthews to be that. Is what I'm worried about. I don't want him just to be that guy that gets bounced around the league later in his career just to score 20 goals, 30 goals for a team. Like, he's better than that. Phil Kessel can score.
No.
Jumping quickly to another team, Minnesota surprising everybody right now. A team that was predicted to start the season without even a win. I think a lot of people were saying they were going to go like 0-8 was like the average.
Did we predict them to be the front runners for the first overall draft pick for next
No,
year?
we had them not even in the next one. They were in Meh. They were the one of the
Okay.
two teams we had in Meh.
Well,
And
they're playing like a team that's got nothing to lose.
it's
So
funny because I watched it and you didn't really have anything to say, but you agreed with me, so I know you know enough about it. I said I don't see when I looked at their team during the start of the season, I was surprised by their roster. I was like, wait, they have all these guys? I was like, what the hell? They're
yeah,
a pretty decent team. They're full of two-way players that can score goals. And right now they're 4-1-0 as the date of making this video, Saturday, January 23rd. And their rookie, Kaprizov or whatever the hell his name is, I don't know how to pronounce the rookie's names yet. He has 5 points in 5 games. So, I mean, he was predicted, I believe, to be the best rookie of the draft class. By a lot of pundits said that he was going to be the one. I like Lafreniere looks stale.
who the Wild's GM? That's Bulgarian, is it not?
Yes,
I believe so.
he was at least. He
I
might
think he
if he's
still
not
is.
okay.
I think he still is. And based on the type of player that he was in his playing career,
He's kind of building that team.
I think he's got a plan and he's putting in place. And I think you just said yourself that he's building a team with a bunch of two-way players. You can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with that. I mean, look at Columbus and dare to say Montreal this year.
Yep. I mean, Bill Guerin was in a
And Vegas.
class.
I would say Vegas. I would put Vegas in that category as well.
Guerin was in yeah. What did you say? St. Louis?
No,
St. Louis is also like that, a team like
really?
that.
Okay.
Yeah. But Bill Guerin was a player that there wasn't a lot of him in the 90s. There was maybe like him, like Doug Waite was kind of like him, Jason Arnett, that could potentially give you 80 points, could easily score 30 goals, but will beat you up if they have to. And I mean, I see him building that, and I think good for Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
We rated them one of the best logos, I think, at some point in our careers. They're a great team. Hopefully they keep doing it. So continuing with how teams are doing, I want to stay on this topic. So I picked 3 teams that look great right now, and I'm saying it's Montreal, Washington, and Tampa Bay. I know they're all Eastern Conference teams, but to me, they look like the 3 best teams at this first 2 weeks of hockey. And
Not surprised by Montreal.
no,
I am
and
not
right,
surprised.
and Washington had to play Pittsburgh twice. Honestly, we'll talk about that, but Tampa Bay doesn't have Kucherov. I mean, and Washington won last night against Buffalo in a shootout, and they don't have Ovechkin, Kuznetsov, their goalie Samsonov, or Orlov, the defenseman,
They're not
because they
injured, are they?
broke protocol.
Oh yes, I
So
remember
they're
that.
potentially going to be out for over a week, all 4 of those guys. And Washington still won. I think that's huge.
No,
Uh,
it's funny because like Ovechkin can't afford to lose any games right now, especially if he wants to have any sort of chance of breaking that
yes,
record.
I think it was really stupid, and Brad
It was a
Marchand
dumb.
called out Ovechkin on it too.
And I think Ovechkin admitted to it that it was stupid. But you know what? Honestly, Campos, you got to feel for some of these guys. They're cooped up in a hotel for months at a time. They can't really do anything. I mean, geez, they're only interacting with each other. I mean,
Hey, at least they get to interact with people. I go to
yeah,
work and I come home and I got to talk to you on a webcam. So for over a year,
I don't know if I should be complimented by that or insulted by
I
that.
mean,
Lucky you.
for the cam shows, it's worth it. But
Okay.
so I'm gonna segue this because they beat the Sabres, and I want to talk about the 3 worst teams this year, in my opinion:
Mhm.
Buffalo, Chicago, and Anaheim. Buffalo looks like horrible. Like
Sorry, who was that third team? You said Buffalo,
Anaheim.
Chicago, Anaheim. Anaheim was expected. Chicago was expected. I mean, they lost Taves for the rest of the year. But Buffalo, I thought they were going to take a kind of a leap. jump forward
Well, you
with
would
the
think,
acquisitions of
and
Taylor Hall and
it's a team where since season 1 of this show, which was actually 5 years ago, even though contrary to popular belief because we're on season 4, but we've always been saying, wow, look at Buffalo's roster. They're going to be good this year, and they're never good.
yeah.
And it's crazy. This is the best roster they've ever had
Yeah,
since.
I mean, Jack Eichel hasn't missed a step. He's still up
Taylor
there.
Hall's been all right too, and it just they have a solid defensive team. They don't have a goalie, in my opinion, and they don't have a third line. They don't have a real third line.
They don't
I
have
don't
enough depth.
I don't know if it's coaching. I mean, I'm sure like if you put like a Barry Trotz in there, that team would be amazing. But
If you put Barry Trotz anywhere, that team would be amazing.
It's really crazy to me. Chicago, we kind of all expected them
And Anaheim, we kind of
to
expected
not
as
be
well.
good. Anaheim too. Like Anaheim's not even playing that bad. The reason I'm saying this is because I've actually watched 2 Anaheim games this year, and they look so bad. Like their
Well, which
whole
one is
team.
it? They look so bad, or they don't?
No. Okay,
they're not so bad.
I mean, sorry, their record is not showing that they're that bad. Is what I meant to say. They don't look as if they're that bad from the outside, but when you actually watch them play, they're not good. And their whole team moves at a pace that reminds me of what's his name, Justin Hall on the Leafs skating back to get the puck into our own zone. Like Justin, or is it Justin Hall? I don't even know his name.
Well, you tell me. I know
Hall
Justin Hall
is one of the slowest skaters I've ever seen. It's ridiculous.
I kind of disagree with that, but okay.
Watch a game then. You haven't seen any games. That's why.
I've watched.
He has not. He's lying. Okay, so I also I don't know if because you said you really haven't been paying attention to the other teams, but LA's looking like weirdly good.
But I think it's just the fact that these guys are like just starting out. I think it's just.
I think it's the
little honeymoon phase, I guess. They're not in mid-season condition. I mean, Colorado is like 3rd in their division right now.
But I'm not worried about Colorado.
I'm just saying, like it's just
That's why I didn't bring them up though.
San Jose is stinking it up. They're actually doing worse than Anaheim. But I guess it's just like we're just waiting for these players to get into mid-season form, and then we'll truly know how or which teams are going to do well, which teams are not going to do so well. So San Jose, Dallas
Dallas only played one game.
One game, okay,
and they won.
So
and it's the same thing. A team that came off protocol or off quarantine, Florida Panthers won both of their first 2 games, so they're 2-0 right now.
Oh, okay.
A team that we also thought wouldn't be so great, and they're winning.
Rangers
look really bad. I actually watched.
But they only played 4. Yeah, they played 4 games. Ottawa, to be expected. Vancouver is not doing so great.
Well, I predicted that.
Yeah, you did. Edmonton is currently out of a playoff spot.
But Edmonton falls in the category with Colorado. I'm not worried about Edmonton. Yeah. They'll get it together.
Montreal's tied for first with Toronto, but they played one less game.
Montreal looks really good. For me, I gotta say, actually, this is what I want to talk about. One of the biggest disappointments for me is Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh looks really, really bad. They look like the Leafs 2 years ago, where their goalies cannot stop a puck. Their defense is not even attempting to play defense. They probably have the worst defensive rating in the NHL right now.
Well, they lost Marc-Andre Fleury many years ago, but they also lost Matt Murray last year. So who's playing in that form right now?
Jari, who actually in our pool, my dad had him, and the guy got he's a goalie. Goalies get you a lot of points in a pool. I'm telling you the truth. He got 4 points, then 6 points, and then -3 points. That was his first 3 games. That's terrible. That's terrible. In one of the games, he let in 5 goals and 6 shots. And their backup goalie's not any better. I can't remember his name right now. It starts with a D. Crosby and Malkin don't look like anything special. People were raving about the first line and how good they were going to be. and they don't look good, and their defense is horrible. So
Where's Captain playing, on the first line or second line?
I think he's on the third line.
Wow, that's crazy.
The last game I watched of them was against, they won in overtime, I think, against Washington. And it was a really weird game. I didn't really pay attention to the line, so my bad for that. But yeah, Pittsburgh. Anyways, I don't have anything else. You have anything? All right, guys. Thank you for watching. 5 for Talking, RLG2. Like, comment, subscribe, and have a good day.